is another day inside of Studio Triple J, and that can only mean one thing, and that is another episode of the Protect You podcast right here, live on all platforms where we are available. Jake Wilson alongside Jay Mickens. Jay, I am excited because we got some guys that we haven't talked about in a long while that are going to be that balled out and definitely deserve to get the call. We got a lot of things going on in the NIL world, some loyal guys that we like to announce, a trip that we're going to be previewing, a fun game. It's just going to be the complete package today, Jay.
It is action-packed, Jake. Action-packed. And I mean, that's what we're here for, right? We're in the meat of football season, right? The middle of it. And for our high school guys, our college guys, and, I think they like seeing our faces.
I think so, too.
It's going to show a little love. We've been blessed to be able to do that. Obviously, we'll talk a little bit more about that in depth here, but I love the fact of looking at our schedule and not only looking at the ones we've already seen, but also what we're going to be seeing this upcoming week. And I'm excited, man. Excited to be back here in the Triple J studio.
And it's a lot too coming off of some action-packed weekends that we had as well. There were a lot of things going on, both in our personal lives as well as a lot of the Protect You crew members and the loyal families that were getting us videos, getting us highlights, getting us stats. But Jay, you took a trip out and you've been playing, I like to call it the role of super dad that you've been taking on during this season, with Jalen obviously getting a lot of reps, getting a lot of opportunities at Louisiana Tech. And you had another great opportunity to go out and see him play, as well as making a little bit of a road trip out of it.
Yeah, no, it was fun. As you mentioned, no matter how busy we get, right, we're a family here, and
absolutely
not gonna miss, my kid's game, right? So, he's gonna always see dad no matter where he is in the country. And this past week we were in Marietta, Georgia, it's a suburb right outside of Atlanta, right? And La Tech had a Thursday night game against Kennesaw State. So didn't go as great as we wanted from a scoreboard, but it's Computer Jesus getting ready to pull up. I got to pick with my guy.
There you
go. Got to pick with
matters.
my guy. After the game, you see the smile on his face. He's always giving me that money-making smile of his. Like I said, they lost, so what wasn't the happiest of time, but, kind of got to see him, right? Good seats that we get in these smaller stadiums. I guess one of the benefits of playing on the group of five level, right, within the FBS. But it was good. And let's just say that there's some exciting news I don't want to announce just quite yet. We're going to make that probably it won't be next week because they play next Tuesday, and that'll be after we've already done the podcast. But then again, maybe I will make a special announcement leading up to the game. So, but all in all, great fun. And then after that, right, I had to drive 2.5 hours to Greenville, South Carolina. It was a little chilly, Jake.
Yeah, a little cold in South Carolina.
It was cold in South Carolina, bro. It was hoodie weather. I think people were laughing at me because they're like, who's this guy, right? I mean, everybody else locally had on T-shirt and shorts, and I'm like hoodie and pants, and I just had to let them know, hey, I'm from Houston, Texas, right? Yeah. We're used to 90-degree weather on Christmas Day.
Yes.
So it's 55, 60-degree weather. A little chilly.
It's jarring. It's jarring.
It is jarring.
We're about middle of October, and it still hangs around the 90s.
Exactly. Not there. But anyway, it was a great opportunity. Got to go, see Franklin Whitley, right? Young man that is a part of the Protect You crew. And also was there scouting another young man that plays DN there for Greenville High School. And then their opponent, Greenwood High School, the quarterback there is committed currently to South Carolina. He's an athlete. They're also looking at him to be a DB. So kind of wanted to go watch them as well. Had a scout come with me from University of Oklahoma, a good friend of mine, known forever. And, he has family there in South Carolina. So he wanted to go with me. So it was a fun trip.
Absolutely.
Fun trip.
It definitely sounds like it, Jay. And I likewise also had a weekend trip ahead of me, one that I took during the middle of the week, so to speak. But, Thursday through Friday was very action-packed for me as well. I was very kind enough to be invited out to a great friend of mine, Colin Matz. He was getting married over the weekend to his now beautiful wife, Kylie. And so, Computer Jesus, you feel free to roll on this one. Some great friends in there with me. Got my buddy Ben, his buddy Tim back there. We were very excited to be a part of this. I was one of the groomsmen, very honored to be up on that stage for what was a tremendous occasion that I wouldn't have missed for the world. So,
man, Jake, I wish you got a picture of you and your tux. I mean, where are you?
It was chaos, Jay. It was chaos. It was well organized chaos. I will say that, where Kylie had everything planned out, dang near the exact minute, it seemed like.
Really?
She knew exactly what was going to happen, when it was going to happen, the order in which it was going to happen. Where, Jay, tell me if you've ever heard this before. The bride that is getting married had planned out for the DJ to the exact second of every song of when he was going to cut in and cut out and go to the next one.
Wow.
She knew what she was doing.
So she didn't even need a wedding planner.
And that's the joke we made, where we said, Kylie, you had everything planned out. You have everything good to go. Why do you need the wedding planner? She goes, middle management. Middle management. I need somebody else to hold the binder while I'm getting my dress, while I'm getting the makeup on, to tell everybody else where they need to be. But it was very well done, very well organized.
So is your buddy, like, is he a guy that needs someone to kind of control him and
absolutely not.
Kind of lay out details? Because that's what he's marrying. Does he realize that?
I think he does. They've been together for, they've been together for, this would be not 7 years.
Okay.
They've been together for about four-ish years.
4 years. And look, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, right?
No, absolutely.
I mean, look here, I love it when Ashley takes over. Like, hey, just tell me what I need to do,
and
lay it out, and I'm good to go.
It definitely seemed like that was the mentality of, tell me where I need to be, and I'll be there.
Right, and that's how she rolled.
Yeah,
but no, I've never seen a detailed wedding.
Quite like that.
Not quite like that. No, not when the DJ's gonna mix in and go from the 1 to the 2.
No, it was very well organized, very well done. And then obviously Saturday rolls around and my Longhorns get a win in Red River.
Wow.
Upset number 6 Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Keep the golden hat in Austin. This marks 2 full years now since Oklahoma has scored a touchdown against Texas.
I know you're loving that.
In the last 2 games, Oklahoma has not scored a touchdown against my Longhorns. So very happy to have been a part of it. Good to see the family. Good to see friends. Good to see the Longhorns pick up the dub as well, as always. Hook'em goes up, and I don't even, what even is a Sooner, Jay? What is a Sooner? But
don't bring me in that. I got a lot of OU friends. I got a lot of Texas friends, and I'm going to take the Michael Jordan route and say Longhorn fans and Sooner fans, they both watch the podcast, and we appreciate the love and support. And I'm just going to stay neutral. And
say a good play. It's a good play.
And rock and roll there. And I love both general managers, and I love working with both at both universities, and look forward to helping them continue to build their rosters.
Absolutely. And we got a couple of guys here that could be those potential roster pieces as we look at the ball and get the call segment here on the Protect You podcast, where we start out with a guy that you and I were both very high on when we introduced him during that pseudo fantasy draft style that we did in the very first episode here of the Protect You podcast, where the guy named DeMarcus Williams, Brother DeMarcus, who has done an excellent job in getting the reps that he can out of Putnam Science Academy out in Connecticut, prep school, but he's making the absolute most out of it.
Exactly, brother. And I love the fact, great young man, had 1 year here at Caney Creek High School here in our district, District 13 6A in Texas, but knew that he needed to have another year of film underneath him before he could go to a traditional university. So what better way than to essentially go and basically redshirt, right, or reclass, however you want to look at it, and go to a prep school.
Yes, absolutely. And it's really good, too. I like your point of seeing this as an opportunity to get another year's worth of film, where this is some high-quality stuff, putting it right in the breadbasket and allowing his receivers to go out there and make the play. Sometimes you just got to throw it in that general direction. Great layered pass on this one as well, where sometimes just put it in the direction of your guys, and that's what a really good quarterback needs to do. Just get it out there, get it to my playmakers, and see what they can do.
Yeah, exactly. No, and you're looking at, now, what I love about, this highlight reel that was created is that we're getting to see him make throws against man-to-man, also against zones, right, where he's having to throw in some tight windows. Just the ball control, like the where he's releasing it, tight spiral, just all the things that you want out of a quarterback. Love the fact that he can throw on the run. Look at the athleticism here. Just making great moves.
and gets the first down as well.
Right.
And it definitely goes to show the dual threat aspect of it, where you and I have talked with several coaches, and they talk about how they don't want a stiff pocket passer anymore. They want a guy that has the potential to throw on the run, but can also break off a play like you just saw DeMarcus do there. But he's already gotten the counting stats going as well. We're only halfway through the season for Putnam Science Academy, and he's completed 70% of his passes on the year. Very high tick for this level of competition where you are playing some JV college type schools, as well as just shy of 1,100 passing yards, just shy of 300 rushing yards, and 9 passing touchdowns on the season. He's been doing it all on the offensive side, and that's in addition to only really getting snaps during the second half / off and on type of plays.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's, when you're at a prep school or even a JUCO, right? I mean, there are concessions that have to be made. And I can understand and respect it because at the end of the day, a prep school and a JUCO is not your be-all, end-all. I mean, everyone knows that you're only there for a hot cup of coffee, right?
Yes.
And then you're out of there, right? So they have to let everyone play, right? So there's got to be, some of that, for lack of better words, kind of like an all-star type feel of a setup. However, for him to be doing that and only playing, 2 quarters per game, right, speaks high volumes of just how productive DeMarcus has been, here, and going against, and I know it's in Connecticut, but once again, prep schools, they recruit all over the nation, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, you're looking at a combination of a lot of kids from a lot of different areas that are all coming together to play. And I mean, just look at the in and out move there. I mean, the things that he is doing, his pocket awareness, being able to create another pocket, understanding when it's time to run, when it's time to keep his eyes downfield, to throw the football on the run. And I know that other coaches are going to love this too. He knows how to get to the outside as much as he can. I know he took a hit right there. There it is. Let your light shine so brightly that others can see. Hey, of course, the video ends like that for
Absolutely,
Brother Marcus.
Brother DeMarcus.
But being able to run to get towards the sideline, understanding, not taking unnecessary hits, sliding when he needs to slide, but also when it's 4th down, knowing that, okay, now I got to go get it. Those are the things that DeMarcus is showing, not only with the quick twitch muscles and the way that he's releasing the ball on the run, also from the pocket, creating another pocket, but he's also showing his IQ, right? As a QB, you got 2.5 seconds to make a decision and get the ball out. And we saw from those videos time and time again where DeMarcus was doing nothing more but that, showing his greatness, showing the velocity on the football as well as the accuracy. And yeah, I mean, we see that the 70% completion is a true testament to what DeMarcus has been doing. So very happy, can't be more excited to be representing this young man, as we know that his future is bright, and we are expecting colleges to continue to call and request more information on DeMarcus, here from Protection United. And, we're here for it, Jake. So cannot wait.
And I think it's important to emphasize the importance and the relevance of being able to go out and show those types of highlights. Because, Jay, you and I can talk ad nauseum about the counting stats and how good our guys are from our perspective, but until the video and until the proof in the tape is able to be shown, there's only so much that we can do. And so we greatly appreciate DeMarcus, and we appreciate the families that have been able to get us these videos, because now we're able to put some proof to the words that we've been speaking on these shows, where we both love DeMarcus as a great prototypical mobile quarterback who can try and get his way out of a pocket collapsing situation and make something out of it. But us saying it is one thing.
Right.
Being able to show it, as DeMarcus has been able to do so eloquently in these highlights, I think that elevates it to another level.
No, I agree. And it also, too, shows that he's not a one-hit wonder, right? For him to do what he did last season in a very competitive district, from a win-loss perspective, his team was not, one of those upper echelons, but he gave teams fits every night. Every night you knew DeMarcus Williams was on that field for Caney Creek here. And I just love the fact that he's continued to show his greatness.
Yeah, no doubt on that. No doubt on that. And another guy that has definitely been showing a lot of greatness in this midway point through the season, it's one heck of a statement to get out there and continue to live up to the name Superman.
Hey, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman, a.k.a. Mr. Autopilot himself, Dylan Mitchell. Look, y'all know the name, you know the face, world-class speed. Computer Jesus, please roll the tape.
Yes, there is a lot to talk about here with Dylan Mitchell's performance against one of the best teams, not only in the state of Texas, but ranked in the nation, as C.E. King and Dylan Mitchell showed up and showed out, torching the defensive back, multiple touchdowns, a fumble recovery as well for Dylan Mitchell in a 42-28 win for C.E. King over Summer Creek. In one, Jay, that the Panthers had at halftime, they were up 42-0.
Yeah, brother. And
the half.
And you're looking at a Dylan Mitchell. I mean, first of all, he's 28.
Yes.
This kid's only a sophomore, Jake. Only a sophomore. And he just went out and beat the previously undefeated Summer Creek Bulldogs that were ranked nationally on all publications.
Yeah.
On all publications, right? And what Dylan Mitchell is doing is not something that is shocking to me, because I've seen Superman do it since he was baby Superman, right? His little cape was on. Mama even put, shout out to Miss Karen, put out a flash of when he was playing flag football in the Katy Youth League, and the little flags were flying. Maybe that's where they came up with Superman, because they're like, man, look at those flags. They're like a cape. Just nobody can catch them. And we're seeing that now on a high school level, but Dylan Mitchell has always been world-class. He's been a track superstar, and being able to bring that now to the football field in the pads. I mean, he's somebody that is leading his team to being on a special run, Jake. And seeing Dylan, run the football, catch passes. I love that C.E. King is looking at him what I've always thought that he could end up being, which is like essentially a Percy Harvin type of a football player, where you can put him in the backfield, you can give him jet sweeps, you can put him out as slot receiver. He can move around and do so many things. You can put him in Wildcat. There's so many things that you can do with this young man, which is why I'm not shocked that he already has 20-plus offers, right, as a sophomore, because these college coaches, they know and they recognize the talent in Dylan Mitchell.
And I think it's important, too, to emphasize that Dylan has taken on whatever role he's needed to. Like you said, like the Percy Harvin type of role, where they need you in the backfield to get some snaps at running back. He takes those opportunities and makes the most out of them. You saw him there in the wide receiver position, in the inside slot, burning through defensive backs. I'm going to take that opportunity. He's been electrifying on the kick return, the punt return game. Right. Takes those opportunities as well. Whatever chances Dylan Mitchell has had to prove himself throughout the season, he has tackled it and taken it on in full force. And I think that's a great lesson to any guy that might be young and sort of coming up on the varsity level, where you're jumping straight from you played freshman ball to now you're getting the call and playing 6A football in the state of Texas. You got to try and make the most of those opportunities. And Dylan has absolutely and emphatically done that, Jay.
No, I agree. And, and what I have loved the most about Dylan is he is by far one of the most humble kids that I've had the pleasure of being around. Karen and Billy Mitchell, both, great high school as well as college athletes in their own right mind, right? The Aggie grads. I don't know how much you appreciate that, Jake, but they have done a phenomenal job in raising this young man. And it speaks to the point that you were just making, right? He doesn't care if he's on kickoff or punt. He doesn't have to always have the ball. Like, he's going to be a great teammate, but yet he's still yes, sir, no, sir, right? I think he but FaceTimed me the other night, and I was like, hey, did you mean to do that? No, sir, I did not. There's no need for this. So it wasn't a nope or a nah or wasn't me. It was no, sir, right? You're looking at someone that every college coach in America knows not only will this kid help produce on the field to not get me fired, but he also won't do any dumb-ish off of the field to get me fired, right? He's going to be a guy that's going to be a great leader in that locker room, and he's going to be someone that is going to help propel our program. And C.E. King, which is getting to see that now. And we talk about that district that they're in, with normally that district is dominated by Atascocita, North Shore, right? Summer Creek's kind of been on a come up. And now C.E. King is looking to be the guys that could end up potentially winning this entire district. And they're young.
Yes.
And all those guys are coming back.
That's
so
a dangerous
That's
team.
going to be a dangerous team led by the great, a.k.a. Autopilot, a.k.a. Superman. But his government name is Dylan Mitchell.
And there he is flexing the turnover chain in what was a dominant win for the Panthers. Definitely keeps the ship going in the right direction as they continue to move through that tough district. Already taken on Atascocita. Now they've taken down Summer Creek. Still got schools like Kingwood. Still got North Shore ahead of them. But definitely looking to be in some pretty solid shape as they move through the rest of that district slate. And we move now back into the boot, into Louisiana, as we had one heck of a battle in the boot between Alexandria and West Monroe High Schools, where you may recognize a couple of names that we have out there as none other than Alex Fontenot representing Alexandria High School and Tylen George out of West Monroe in what was an excellent battle between these two programs. Battle-tested schools, battle-tested players. And West Monroe comes away with a 3-point victory.
And I will say this. I love that during the expo, how, we're up there, right? We're all excited, the Louisiana takeover. And all them dudes, they walk in the room and they see each other. And I'm like, uh-oh, are we going to have to separate the sides, right? Because they instantly went to, I got your game marked on the list. I mean, and what an awesome opportunity, right? For all those young men to be in the room together, but they knew who each other was, and they were waiting for this game, and now we get to show some highlights. Unfortunately, we didn't get Alex's highlights, but we did get Tylen's.
That we did. And
look at the big fella.
He had a great job out there, was leading, as he always does, out of the right guard position for the Rebels in what was a game where they needed everything that they could get out of their offense, as it was a tough one, battled back and forth, but they ultimately came away with the field goal victory late in the fourth quarter. And it was in no small part due to the
look at that pancake, though. Look at that.
And staying.
Did he drag him on his back of his helmet? Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
O-line coaches love that.
But Tylen was a key contributor in West Monroe's offense.
Look at that screen. There's another one. I mean, that's what I love about Tylen is that, he's not only just good in the pass or, filling the hole. I mean, you're looking at a young man that can also pull, right? He's quick on his feet. He can also go next level and break down and block a linebacker in the screen game. I mean, this is a young man that I'm actually shocked that more colleges have not just jumped over other people to get to him. That he's almost like the ninth wonder of the world. And Jake, I know you're like, wait, Jay's only 7. Well, 8 is Magic Johnson.
Yes.
He's 8, right? 8. And 9 is Tylen George because, although he does have some good offers, and I know he committed early to Tulane from a verbal commitment standpoint, but I just, when you watch this young man, Jake, to not see all the other schools just clawing to get, their hat thrown in the ring, right, of going after him. It is shocking, right? I'm not going to lie about that. However, he's dominating, and all Tylen is doing is showing that, okay, if you miss out on me, that's going to be your loss because I am a guy that can dominate the guard position. I can do anything that any offense in America needs on a college level, whether you're a hurry-up offense, all-pro pass set, whether you're a running team, whether you're that mixture, right? Most colleges now are more 70-30 pass run, and he shows that he can go out and block a skill, which is not easy to do. A lot of people think that a lineman being able to get up from a three-point stance and break down and block a nickel or an outside linebacker is an easy feat, but it's not, especially considering that you got to make sure that your hand placement's in the right spot, that you don't create a holding. You can't just run downfield and have a DB run away from you, right? I mean, there's things that are happening that have to happen pretty quick, as well as, in my opinion, playing one of the most difficult positions, which is offensive line, because you don't know the front you're going to see every play. You might see a 4-man front. The next play, you might see a 3-man front, or you might see a 4-man front pre-snap. And the next thing you know, you got 2 blitzing linebackers right when the ball is snapped, to where now you got to be man on man. Well, those things all have to happen, and decisions have to be made at a very quick pace. And Tylen has shown time and time again of what he's doing. I mean, I know, and I don't know if you have that in front of. I know we have it on his pitch deck, but talking about where he currently ranks in the state of Louisiana, where he currently ranks nationally, all of his accolades, the things that he's done, but most importantly, Jay, he's shown the leadership. Right, he's been a captain for the past couple of seasons. And he's shown that he's a guy that you can rely on.
Yes, and I do have those stats with me here. He is the number 1 interior offensive lineman in the state of Louisiana, number 40 in the nation, and the number 12 overall prospect coming out of Louisiana in this upcoming class. I think it can't go understated just how important it is to have a guy like Tylen on your offensive front, right? Of that in between where you want a great center. Obviously, you need somebody to get the ball back there to your quarterback. Good tackles are always a great thing to have, but it's usually those guards that you need to rely on to have those types of pulling actions, to be the guy to get that first block and then reach the second level. That usually depends on your guards, and Tylen is that perfect example of what you'd want to see out of that. And so he's been doing a great job. We're great to see that he continues to be successful as the season moves on. And then not to move too fast before we talk about Alex Fontenot, where he did lead Alexandria in receptions, 7 catches, 94 yards, and a touchdown as well. Another guy that you and I both feel like are critically overlooked in terms of what he does in the receiving game. He has great measurables, great height for an outside receiver. Give him another season here and the completion of this year, and I feel like he's going to be right up there in that echelon of guys that you're going to be like, where did this guy come from? How did we miss this guy?
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be great to see him and Tylen get that respect that they deserve when they do make it to the next level of competition.
I agree 100%.
And speaking of the next level of competition, Jay, you and I talked about the changes that are going to be coming down the line to things like the transfer portal, where the NCAA announced on September 17th that they were going to be making a switch to a one-time transfer portal. They had gotten rid of the spring portal in terms of alleviating spring games and making sure that right before the season starts and those off-season camps begin, that guys are going to know where they're supposed to be. But now we have gotten rid of the winter transfer portal window, and now we are moving to the singular one that will start between January 2nd and the 16th.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I love the excitement that's behind that, right? I know there are a lot of people that, still kind of are questioning it. They don't know if they like it or don't like it. But I think this is going to be great for college football. You're looking now to where these college coaches can truly set their roster, right? They can set their roster for the entire season. The portal opens up, it closes, and then they know, hey, we got these guys locked in all the way through this calendar year, but most importantly, through the season and all the way now through essentially the national championship game for the ones that are the 2 teams that'll be blessed to get to play for a natty every year. It had to been tough for these college coaches to say, okay, here's the first portal, we got our team, but then knowing that we might lose some guys come March or April, right? Now they have an opportunity, right, to set their rosters and get it solidified. Now, just to kind of point out a few important notes, although the portal opens on the 2nd and closes on the 16th, if you're still out there without a team, you still can go to another school, right? So I just want people to understand that doesn't mean that you only have 15 days to find a new home or you're going to be screwed. It's just going to mean that you have those days to tell your current college coach, hey, I'm going to be hitting the portal. You apply, get your paperwork completed, and it has to be done within that time frame. The other important thing to note is that players in the college football playoffs, they now have 5 days beginning from the day of their team's elimination, right? So as we all know now, college football playoffs are going to be going longer. There's even rumors that they're now talking about adding more teams to the 12 to being 16 at some point. So in order to be fair to those young men so they don't get put in a weird position, they will now get 5 days after their elimination game to also enter their name in the transfer portal. And then the biggest change, which I feel is going to be that where currently the rule was set to where if head coach got fired, say like a Sam Pittman, right, or like a Gundy, right? The guy, Pittman got terminated at University of Arkansas, and then Gundy was at Oklahoma State, which we talked about last week, and here most recently Franklin.
Yes, James Franklin out of Penn State.
Yeah, Penn State. He also got terminated, right? And so the current rule that was in place at that time was you had 30 days to enter your name into the portal. Now you have to wait until the new coach is hired, and then you get 5 days after the new coach has been hired to then decide if you're going to enter the portal. And I kind of like that rule because now you're basically saying, let's give the new head coach an opportunity to keep the room intact, right? Let's keep this team together. Let me come talk to you about my philosophies and my plans for each and every player. And then at that point, you can make that decision. It gives that coach an opportunity to also come in and meet with the players individually, right? That's kind of what the going thing is right now. Coaches are meeting with players to determine if they're going to redshirt them or if they're going to put them in a starting lineup or if they're going to go to a backup role. And then it allows these players to then know what their future looks like with the current coaches that are now, going to be in place. Now, Jake, that doesn't stand for the interim coach, right? So that's kind of where now you got to ride it out a little bit, go through the rest of the season, and then make that determining factor if you're going to stay or not. A lot of guys are going to probably want a red shirt, I'm assuming, especially up at Penn State and Arkansas, to not waste that year with this new rule going in effect, starting next year. And, I think that 30-day deal is still in play for the rest of this season for kids that are playing for coaches that are just interim. But it will change next year. And I think, Jake, that is going to bring more of a clear-cut system.
Yes.
It's going to provide more clarity. And most importantly, it'll provide more structure, which I feel is definitely needed in college football.
No, I agree with you full-heartedly on that, where I feel like the main issue that the NCAA has been facing in this transitional era of NIL, where we talk about how it used to be just reckless abandon. Guys were getting contracts for millions of dollars that, with the power of hindsight, didn't necessarily deserve that type of money. They've come in and they've cleared that up now, where it's you have to bargain through the collectives. You have to work directly with the university. Now, you talked about the approximate value of everybody's brand and what their name is worth. And now as we move closer towards the ironing out of the transfer portal, I like that the NCAA has taken on this role of it's going to be rough initially, but give us a season, give us 2 seasons, and things will get ironed out. Things will be fixed. And it'll be more cohesive, not just for people like us, Jay, where we're talking about our clients having to negotiate where they're going to be next season, what that contract is going to look like, but also, too, for the fan perspective, right? Where if I'm a fan of a school and I'm constantly having to keep tabs on, all right, well, shoot, coach just got fired. Now this guy's gone. Is this guy going to leave? Is this guy going to leave? This person's leaving. This person's leaving. Now we have a more concrete manner in which the fans will be able to set. This window is where things are going to be happening. And the coaches as well. Mm-hmm. This window is when things are going to be happening. So we will stay honed in on this window in January. I like that it just makes things easier.
I agree.
It makes things smoother, like you were talking about, Jay, because that's what the NCAA needs right now.
Exactly. No, and I just think that it's a win-win-win situation in regards to the athlete, the coaches, as well as the NCAA.
Yes.
So good job, guys.
Good job across the board.
Yes, good job. And I think that I think we're going to be okay.
Yes,
I think it's going to be okay. I think the purists will start to accept the new changes in college football.
Yes, and should the expansion come, that's when we have that debate again of what is the NCAA doing? What are y'all thinking? But as of right now, seal of approval on our end. And we move now to one of my favorite segments, one that I always like to be a part of because we're talking about elevating and providing platforms for players here as they join the Protect You crew. And these are 2 very loyal guys that have stuck with us for quite some time now. Since the beginning of the Protect You podcast, we've been trying to find ways to get these guys involved. And Jay, we just found the time because now we get to talk about 2 of our favorite guys from behind the scenes that have been so invested themselves, their families have placed a lot of trust in Protection United to get them to where they want to be at the next level. And we start off with Jacoby Dixon.
Yeah, no, hey, Jacoby's the guy. I mean, everybody knows who he is. This guy has been known around the nation since he was 10 years old. One of the best running backs in the nation, right? A 4-star on the 247 Sports Composite, class of 2027. And I mean, just a young man that, had a lot of transition. Obviously, he would have been one of the first guys that we would announce just because of who he is. But we're looking at, a situation where things weren't working out at his current high school and he wanted to go to a private school, right? Great move by him from the standpoint of already having all his offers, right? No need to run the tread off and go to a private school that is a true college preparatory school, which what are they prepping for? College.
Yeah.
Right. I think a lot of people still feel that college is just thrown onto the wayside, but these young men want to go to these bigger universities that, believe it or not, guys, Michigan, Ohio State, Oregon, et cetera, they all care about the academic side, and they're not just throwing grades out at a lot of these prestigious universities, no matter how much we feel that football controls the world. There are presidents and administrators that, let's just say, they care about football, but not to the point of the detriment of, selling their souls out for it and lowering their academic standards. And Jacoby recognized that, I would say, over the summer. And, now he's at, John Cooper High School here locally in Houston, Texas, or the Woodlands, I would say, suburb of Houston. But you're looking at a great young man that is amazing on and off the field. But what he can do on that football field is something that most cannot.
Yes.
And that's why every school in the nation wants him. Jacoby is currently sitting at 30-plus offers. He's got a lot of tough decisions to make. We're blessed to be a part of the process, right, to help Jacoby navigate through, which school is going to be best for him. Where should he attend? Because when everybody wants you, that's got to be tough, right? A little bit easier, I think, Jake, when only a handful wants you, right? But, when we tell our guys don't go somewhere that just loves you, go somewhere that they are in love with you, right? Someone that just doesn't want you, but somebody that needs you. But when you have every school that is in love with them and every school is telling them that he needs them, how do you navigate through that, right?
Yes.
So, that's why we're blessed to be an extension of Jacoby's family, to allow us to stay in his family, right? He played for, our select tackle football team, Texas Pines Elite, built the relationship with Jacoby, obviously got to watch him grow up, playing rec football, and it was great to build a relationship, right, with Grace, his mom, as well as James, right, his father, Dixon, and, through all this, right, now we start Protection United, and of course, they're like, well, yeah, you're going to be representing us because we already have the relationship with you. We trust you. You've been rocking out and been a fan of our son before any of this, right, came to fruition. So it's going to be awesome. And I'm telling you, Jake, Jacoby's gonna go somewhere very far, and he's another young man that we all expect to be playing on Sundays.
No doubt in my mind that Jacoby is that type of a talent that will be playing beyond the next level. He will be in the NFL one day because he's already attracted those types of offers that kids dream of. And he still has another year left of football action to develop, further hone his skills more so than he already has, to the point where it wouldn't be a far stretch to say that he will be a 5-star by the time he wraps everything up at John Cooper. Baylor, Michigan, Ohio State, Florida, Oregon have all gone after Jacoby, and he still continues to collect offers like it's his job.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what else we can say about him.
There's not much else to say because
he's just that guy. He's the guy.
Yes.
I mean, he's just that guy. I mean, when you have a running back of that statue, that strong and physical, can be a downhill runner, but can also be an east-west guy. I mean, I'm not shocked that Oregon's had him come out, multiple times for games. A&M has had him come to multiple games. Now Florida's getting in the mix. Now you're looking at schools that are like, oh, we better get on the Jacoby Dixon train. So definitely excited. But, you know, what I am most excited about is that when this young man steps on a college campus and he's taking his freshman classes and then starts taking his sophomore classes, he's going to say, wait a minute, we did this in high school, right? You know, I'm a product of a private school. I understand, you know, when I played college basketball, how I didn't have to struggle those first 2 years of college because of the fact that I did it in high school. So I just basically continued to learn, but I already had good study habits. I understood, you know, the importance of testing and how to take a test. And let's just say that I didn't have to be in mandatory study hall past the first 3 to 4 weeks that I was there because my grades were intact and I knew what I was doing. And that's what Jacoby is going to get at John Cooper, which I'm so excited for him. Because of that reasoning, you're now looking at a young man that is going to thrive collegiately to where now he can really put focus on to the playbook and the things that come with being not only a student athlete, but because now they're being compensated for it. There's a lot of expectations that come with these young men that are just not on the field, but there's events that they have to attend. There's fundraisers. There's different things that they have to do that is added on their schedule because these schools are like, if we're going to pay you this much money, we expect you to be at certain events. And also with travel, Jake, right? When they have to go travel all over the nation, they also have to understand that part of the fact that they're going to have to study away from just being in the classroom. So all those things kind of come in fruition here, and I'm just happy for Jacoby.
No doubt on that. And now we move from private to public, and we move to a guy that you and we've talked about since, I think, the day I joined in on Protection United, a guy that everyone was excited to be around, a guy that everyone was excited to cover. And you may initially see this and think, wait a minute, JV quarterback, JV, what's so special about JV? But when I tell you that Harley Adams is someone to celebrate, you better believe that he is worthy of the praise.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, the shot with me and him, right, when we went to his game last week. But, you know, just a great young man, right? You know, and great parents, right, by, you know, Holt and Brandy Adams, right? Big shout out to them because they understand that not only the sensitivity and what it comes with it being a quarterback, but also, too, they understand that they needed to get started early, right? So they wanted to come on Protection United, bring us on to take over his social media to help promote him at a younger age. So then next year, because he's another 28, right? So next year when he's a starter at Grand Oaks High School here in Houston, Texas, he understands and his profile has already been built, right? His brand has already been built. And now all he's got to do is continue to go do what he's doing on these highlight videos, which is ball out.
Just ball out, man.
Out.
It speaks really highly, too, where we've had discussions with the varsity coach over there at Grand Oaks. We know what Coach McDowell is looking for. And he talks about how he doesn't want that stiff quarterback. He doesn't want a statue in the pocket anymore. And Harley embodies that. He embodies the type of guy that, as you've seen in these videos, can deliver an accurate ball on the run, still maintains that tight spiral. But if I call a designated run play for you, you're not going to get out there and just run into a brick wall. You're going to find the gaps. You're going to find ways to turn nothing into something. And Harley Adams has already thrown his name out there in more ways than just what you've been able to talk about, of more than just building his social media brand and more than just talking about what he's been able to do online. He's making those connections with programs at the next level already. He is a 3-star quarterback according to QB Hot List. He is going on those visits. He went to Texas against forgive me. He was on the A&M versus Florida visit this last weekend. He will be in SMU for their matchup against number 2 Miami on November 1st. So he's already done everything that he needs to do to get his name out there. Now he's just going to go out there and put a little bit more proof to the words that we've been talking about and continue to show out in between the dotted lines on the football field.
Exactly, right? You know, and I get it. You know, one might ask, you know, this kid's so great, you know, why is he not starting on his varsity team right now, right? Well, you know, he's backing up a 4-year starter, right, in a Grant Smith. Kid's been starting since his freshman year, and we get it, right? You know, when you have a young man that's been through, 2 different coaching staffs, but he's been the guy. And you just want to wait your turn. But what I love what Coach McDowell is doing, and he told me this summer at the state 7-on-7 tournament, he wants to have a quarterback come and earn it. And by them earning it can't be just being a backup on a Friday night with the hope of getting in a lopsided game, right? Whether they're getting blown out or they're blowing someone out. He wants his next quarterback to have a ton of reps. And, so Harley making that decision with Coach McDowell to play JV football so he could play. And that's the thing that most people don't understand, right? And we see that, Jake, even from the college level. A lot of times people are like, why would you want to go FCS? Why would you want to go to this small school? Well, I don't know. I mean, how about we ask Cam Ward? He went to Incarnate Word, a FCS school. They barely made FCS. In my mind, they're almost like a D2 school. Then he went for a quick cup of coffee to another school before he went to Miami. And now he was the number 1 overall draft pick in last year's draft. So y'all can miss me on trying to judge a kid for wanting to play over what level of competition. So I tip my hat to you, Harley Adams. You wanted to play JV football because you wanted to play. And he's playing football every week. He's getting a ton of reps. He's showing what he can do in the RPO game, and he's also showing what he can do in the pass game, whether he's sitting in the pocket, making throws on the run. And this young man is not shocking that he's on every college coach's list, Jake, which is why he's getting these invites to these games, because of the fact that they know who he is and they understand, let's jump on this kid now and show him love before he blows up on the varsity level next year.
No doubt. No doubt to any of that, Jay. He's been a guy that we're very excited to talk about. We were very excited to go out and cover him and be able to visit him last week in their game against Conroe, one where they just thrashed the Tigers in that matchup. So very happy to see him getting the respect that he deserves.
Yeah.
Getting those visits. And speaking of visits, you and I are going to be taking a trip up to TCU this weekend because we got a couple of the pillar athletes here at Protection United. Samara Coleman, we'll be going out and seeing her live at TCU on the 17th, Jay. Very excited to see that one because they've been on a tear so far. A historically great season for TCU. Only, I believe, 3 losses, maybe 4 if I'm mistaken on that, throughout this entire season. They've achieved their highest ranking in program history, most wins in a row, most wins against ranked teams. This has been the definitive year for TCU in terms of a coming out party for what the program will be moving forward. And Samara Coleman has been no small part in that. Took up the reins when an injured player and a veteran was in front of her. She has taken on this role full-heartedly, and now we're going to get out there and get to see a little bit of that action live and in person, Jay.
Yeah, no, I'm super pumped to see Samara. I mean, I'm sick of watching her on TV.
Yes.
Like, I want to see it in action, right? I love her highlight clips that is getting produced as well through the TCU social media team. But to get to watch in person, right? I loved it when we went online, bought our tickets. We were trying to get in the perfect section so we can watch. And Samara, just know we're coming. And you're going to hear our voices as we cheer very loudly for you and very proudly, right? With her being the first lady of the Protect You crew. So
yes,
I am so excited and can't wait. I've never been to a college volleyball matchup.
It's
before,
intense.
Jake.
It's intense. I always say that volleyball it might be up there as my favorite sport to watch live in terms of just the feats that they're able to pull off of. Those spikes and those kills come down super hard, but then when someone's able to dig that out and keep the volley going, it's really impressive to watch. And it'll be one heck of a matchup to go and watch too. Will be a little bit of purple on purple action as we got Kansas State coming to the fort, and then we turn around the next day, Jay.
The next day.
And we get to see another one of our pillar athletes and our big transfer portal edition as the Horned Frog football team gets ready to take on bitter rival Baylor.
Yes.
And what is the Revivalry, as that one has been called, on the 18th.
Yeah, and, Dylan Kenny, right? So excited to get to see our guy. A lot of backstory with this, right? His dad, Rod. We love Rod, by the way.
That we do.
At Protection United. Rod's playing at Baylor, right? He played at Baylor with, the other co-founder of Protection United, Derek Lagway, and his son is going against his old team. It's going to be fun. Cannot wait. This is going to be a great weekend. Cannot wait to meet with the general manager. That's there, Todd Wright, good friend of ours here. Maybe we finally get to go see the other side of the new facilities. And then, Jake, you mentioned that you got a buddy that's going to be able to take us around and maybe let us get some more VIP treatment.
Yes, that is very true. Very well connected up there in that Fort Worth area. TCU has been incredibly loyal to, obviously not just me, but to the area in terms of providing those opportunities. I had the great opportunity during my senior year of college to go out there and be a mixed media journalist for the Armed Forces Bowl that they hold out there every year at Amon G. Carter Stadium. So lovely facility. I love everything about it. As much as I am a UT fan, I gotta love TCU for what they do in terms of providing for their athletes, providing for that fan experience, and then also, they got some nice freaking facilities out there, man. They got the whole room. They got the cold room.
Yeah.
Forget the cold plunge. Just walk into the room and you'll get the same experience.
Man, I would love it if we can somehow get in that room. I just want to stand in there and watch the snow hit me. But yeah, no, definitely excited. The TCU takeover.
Yes.
Right? We're going to get to do it all, and I'm excited for it. Dylan's actually texting me right now, making sure we're still coming. So, Dylan, we're on our way. We'll be there.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be there Friday.
Well, definitely looking forward to it because, Jay, not only is TCU one of my favorite programs to talk about in terms of the color scheme, the mascot, the uniforms, the facilities, but that last point there, the facilities, the stadiums. Amon G. Carter is one of my favorite stadiums in the nation that I've been to. I've been to a handful of them here, Kyle Field, Darrell K. Royal, and a couple of others that we might get to, but I want to test your knowledge again. We did this. We did this segment a couple of weeks back where you and I sat down and you attempted to guess which college stadiums belong to which programs. And if my memory serves me right, you were one below 500 because I threw 9 stadiums at you. And Jay, I hope you're ready for it again because we're asking where they play for the second time on the Protect You podcast.
Hey, man, y'all got to stop having these secret meetings without me. Like, what do y'all set me up for?
We're trying to set you up for success, Jay, is what we're trying to do. We got to test your knowledge because how can we represent and sell ourselves as some of the most knowledgeable people in the game? If I can't show a bird's eye view of a stadium, Jay, and have you tell me who plays where.
That's so messed up. Man,
all right. So, Jay, are you ready to go for round 2, Big 12 edition of where they play?
I guess, bro.
All right. So, I got Computer Jesus. I have sent you over a list of stadiums. And we will start out with number 1 here, our first stadium. MS Paint obviously helping me out with censoring the logos here. Jay, this is our first stadium. Who plays here?
Okay, this is going to be an easy one. The TCU Horned Frogs. That's where we're going to be on Saturday.
That is very true. This is TCU. This is Amon G. Carter Stadium. And you could sort of get a little bit of the vibe there as not only is this one of the more iconic stadiums, I feel like, in the state of Texas, but they're playing host to their rivals SMU in this one as well, as you can tell by some of the shirts up here in the stands. But Amon G. Carter is correct, Jay, 1 for 1. Capacity of 47,000. However, they did break over 53,000 in their 2023 season opener against Colorado in what was the first game of Coach Prime's career at Colorado. And the stadium is named after Fort Worth businessman Amon G. Carter. Nicknames for this one is the Carter, or my favorite nickname, Hell's Half Acre.
Okay. There it is.
Whatever you say.
Yeah.
Whatever they say.
There it is.
Because, man, Fort Worth is weird, and I think that stadium might be the epicenter for everything that goes on there. So good on you. Good first pull on that one, Jay. As we move now into stadium number 2. And Jay, this one, very modern stadium, very good looking stadium. But Jay, who plays here?
Take
me through your thought process.
Yeah, so I kind of see some orange.
Okay.
I don't know if it's burnt orange.
It's not burnt orange. We're not in the SEC anymore.
Yeah, that is not the SEC anymore. That's true. Forgot about that. I'm going to go with Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State is your guess, Jay, and you would be incorrect. As this is McLean Stadium, home of the Baylor Bears. This is the brand new facility that opened in 2014. In my personal opinion, my favorite stadium that I have ever been to, has just beautiful sight lines. You're right there on the Brazos. You can see a little bit of the river there in the bottom right. You can pull your boat up and be able to go out there and watch a game at McLean Stadium in the heart of Waco. Seats 45,000, named after Drayton McLean, who was the lead donor for this stadium's creation, and it was money very well spent. One of my all-time favorite stadiums. But Jay, this does knock you down to 500, so 1 for 2, but a lot of opportunities to try and rebound here as we continue deeper into the Big 12 state, as we move now to stadium number 3. In my opinion, one of the more iconic stadiums, one of the hardest places to get a road win. Jay, who plays here?
Oh, man.
Another one, little old style. You got the facility here.
Yeah.
On the very end of the stadium.
Right off of the highway.
Yep.
I'm struggling with this one.
This is another good job on the center job, but if you look kind of closely, I'll give you a hint here, Jay. If you look kind of closely at some of the branding on the scoreboard to the left, it might give away a little bit of info if you know the name of the stadium.
Oh yeah, that doesn't help at all. Like I am at a loss of words. I mean, every school I'm thinking of, I'm like, wait, they're not even in the Big 12 anymore.
Yeah,
that stinks. You said it's a tough road game.
Yes, this is, even spoken from a Texas fan, this is one of the hardest stadiums to get a road win in.
Iowa State?
Is that your final guess?
Yeah.
Iowa State is incorrect, Jay. We are looking for Texas Tech. The answer on this one.
Man.
This is Jones AT&T Stadium, home of the Texas Tech Red Raiders. This is.
We should have had a tortilla thrown in the air.
Yes, if the field was littered with tortillas, then I think that would have been a better giveaway. But this is obviously home of the Texas Tech Red Raiders. They've gotten some very iconic moments, some very iconic wins. The Michael Crabtree catch is the one that sticks out in my mind as the defining moment for this stadium. Opened up in 1947, and it is named after Texas Tech's third ever president, Clifford B. Jones, and the rest of the Jones family. No relation to Jerry or any of those guys down there in Arlington, but Jay, not looking good.
Not looking good.
Dips down now to 1 for 3. Opportunity here, still a chance to get right back to 500 as we move now to one of the most scenic stadiums I have ever seen. And so it might be a little bit of a giveaway if you know your Big 12 schools, as Jay, stadium number 4. My goodness.
Hey, it got to be the Colorado Buffaloes.
Colorado Buffaloes is your guess. And Jay,
I'm at 500.
You are still below 500.
No way.
As this is not Colorado. This is BYU. This is Lavelle Edwards Stadium in the heart of Utah.
Come on, man.
You were right there. You had it. This is the same mountain range, I guess. So, but you're talking a completely different state. This is home of the BYU Cougars.
This sucks, bro.
BYU is the right answer here. Capacity of 62,000, opened in 1964. One of the rare stadiums named after a head football coach, as it was named after Lavelle Edwards, who was the head coach for BYU for 29 years.
Okay.
And he was an assistant for 10 years prior to that. So involved with BYU football for nearly 40 years, Jay. Got to put some respect on it as we move away from BYU. Now, 1 for 4. You got quite a hole to dig yourself out of, Jay, but I got faith. I have faith in you.
Okay.
You got an opportunity here as we move now to our next stadium, where, Jay, I must ask, who plays here?
Oh, man.
Y'all got some stripe coordination going on there, a little bit of colors for the school involved in this one.
Yeah, I got that. Okay, let's go. I'm going to go with Kansas State.
Kansas State is your guess. And
Yeah.
Jay, you are correct.
Oh,
This is
I needed that one.
Bill Snyder Family Football Stadium, home of the Kansas State Wildcats. Seats a clean 50,000, opened in 1968, and is, of course, named after longtime head football coach Bill Snyder, legendary guy, just a great person to have led this program for as many years as he did. And Jay, you're one away.
Oh,
You're one
man.
away from getting right back to 500, so you got an opportunity here.
Okay.
And one that I had to do quite the censor job on this one because there's a lot of school logos and a lot of school mottos written all over this stadium. Jay, our next stadium, can we please get the image of it up as we move over to another Big 12 school, one that received some recent renovations. There she is. Some recent renovations to this one.
That's
So
nice.
a new stadium, new end zones, new
What?
heating.
What?
Jay, who plays here?
Okay. That's nice, by the way. Is
Yes,
that
it
really the color of the seats? Blue?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Man.
So you got to think here.
Yeah.
Go through your blue schools.
You know, I am. Oh, man. Okay. I really want to say one school, but I don't know if
Okay.
they're that blue. I'm going to go with Kansas Jayhawks.
The Kansas Jayhawks is your guess. And Jay, you would be correct.
Oh,
This is the newly
Okay.
upgraded David Booth Kansas Memorial Stadium.
all right.
Had to do quite the censored job there to get the rock chalk in the stands censored out. But this is one of the newest stadiums in the entire nation. The massive facelift that this stadium got, changes to the end zones. They got the wheat fields in the end zones that look so beautiful.
Yeah.
Too bad the football team just isn't doing what they need to right now, but we'll give them the pass as a basketball school. But
right.
starting to show a
Right.
little bit of a come up here. Seats 41,000, named after David Booth, who donated over $50 million to the stadium's renovation
Wow.
back when the plans were coming through. And it is Memorial Stadium, dedicated to all of the Kansas students who died during World War I. Very similar to our Darrell K. Royal Stadium here in Austin, but very beautiful out there in the plains
Yeah.
of Kansas. Now we move, Jay, to another one here. You're back at 500, so you got a
right.
good opportunity here with 3 stadiums left.
Okay.
So you're going to be either above or below 500 by the end of
And
this.
once again, here we go.
So here we go, Jay. Moving on to our next one, Jay.
Oh,
Who is this and who plays here?
oh man. Okay. See, this is, I said them earlier and I was wrong.
Okay.
I think I want to come back to them.
Okay. Who are we feeling?
Iowa State.
Iowa State is your guest. And Jay, you are 0 for 2 on the Iowa State guesses.
It's Oklahoma State.
This is not Oklahoma State either. This is West Virginia.
No.
The Mountaineers,
I
Millen
didn't-
Twiskar Stadium.
Oh man, I've been in that stadium too.
Right in the heart of Morgantown, John Denver. Country roads take me to this
I was
stadium.
talking to the GM last night as well.
Oh, Jay, bad
Oh.
optics, man, bad optics.
Mm.
But this is, of course, home
He
of the.
said, "Take me home." Country road.
Of course, after every home win, gotta blast that John Denver to the 60,000
Yeah.
faithful fans and students that pack in to this stadium every year. One of the newer stadiums as well, originally opened in 1980 in the heart of Morgantown.
Yep.
So Jay, back below 500, but you got a good opportunity here. Try and
Oh.
rebound before we get to our final 2, because Jay, our next stadium, one of the more recognizable in my mind. They got a beautiful red brick outside. So, computer Jesus, our next stadium. Jay, what stadium is this and who plays here?
Oh man, that's beautiful. By the way,
Yes, it is.
wow, that is a gorgeous stadium. Have you been there, Jake?
I have not been to this one. I have not been to this one.
They're new.
I've been to the town before. I've been through this town before, but I have not been inside of this stadium.
I can't even see the stadium. I can't even see the field.
But
Oh man, that's tough. Y'all didn't do me right by this one.
mm,
Are they new to the Big 12?
they are not.
They're originals.
This is a cornerstone of the Big 12 since its very beginning of the Big 12. Was not a part of the Southwest Conference, did not come in with that crew. So, Jay, what are we feeling here?
Man, okay.
Look in your stands. Look in the stands.
Yeah, Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State is your guess?
Yeah.
And you are correct.
Oh,
this is Oklahoma State, and this is Boone Pickens Stadium,
okay.
home of the Cowboys. Seats 52,000. Originally was named Lewis Field before 2003.
Yeah.
But during a halftime game against Wyoming, they revealed that the name would be changed to Boone Pickens Stadium, obviously named after T. Boone Pickens, famous Texas oil man, entrepreneur, and the rest is history. Has been home to Oklahoma State and its name ever since. Beautiful stadium, one that I've always wanted to visit in terms of just great layout, great sight lines.
I mean, is that dorms down there?
It looks like it. It looks like it. Could you imagine that? You just wake up
and walk to the
stadium on game day.
That's nice.
Must be nice. Yeah. Must be nice. But Jay, you're at 500 now. It's make or break time.
Here we go, Jake.
Make or break time as we move into our final stadium. Jay, please give me your best guess. A lot of censoring had to be done on this one. Jay, who are we feeling for this final stadium?
Oh, man.
There's a lot going on this image.
There's a lot going on.
You got the field. You got the two grassy sitting areas on either side of the scoreboard.
Dang, yeah, the grass.
You don't see that in too many stadiums.
You don't see that in too many stadiums. Are they, can I get my hint? Are they original or are they new?
They are not new. So they are not. So I'll go ahead and rule out. It's not Arizona State, Arizona.
That boy said they're not new.
No, they're not new.
I see red though.
Yes. So it is not Cincinnati.
Oh man.
This is not Bearcat Stadium.
Jake. Bro. What's the surrounding? I don't see the
There's a lot of trees. You got a lot of open field.
Yeah. They're not new. They're not original.
They're not.
They're like,
they might be an original. They might be an original program.
Man. You know what?
I'm not entirely sure about this school's history, but they did not join in 2011 like TCU did.
Oh yeah.
They've been with the conference for a while.
You know what? I guess I'm gonna be 0 for 3, but I'm gonna go with Iowa State.
Iowa State is your guess, and Jay, congratulations, you finished above 500. This is, in fact, Iowa State and Jack Trice Stadium.
Yes.
Good on you, Jay. Good on you. Because this one was a tough one. There was a lot of red in the stands, but could go either way.
Imagine if I didn't pick them.
Yes.
You'd have been like, you picked them twice, and then the one time you don't get them.
Yes, but it was very good on you, Jay, to finish above 500. A couple of interesting facts about Jack Trice Stadium. Seats 61,000. Is named after Iowa State's first African-American athlete who died during injury sustained in a 1923 football game. Is the only Division I FBS stadium named after an African-American. So a lot of history behind that stadium. Iowa State has done an excellent job on the come up, and you did an excellent job, Jay, finishing above 500 and getting some love to the Big 12 stadiums. Thank you. With the conclusion of that and that resounding success for you, Jay, that is going to do it for another great episode of the Protect You podcast. Tremendous thanks goes out, obviously, again, to you all, the fantastic viewers at home, catching us both live on all of our platforms, as well as on demand here on the Protection United YouTube channel. It truly does mean the most. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe whenever you do come around. But that does it for this episode here. Jake Wilson, as always, alongside Jay Mickens. Justin Woods was our producer. We hope to catch you all in the next one. We'll see you around.